Okay, right over there, where we've got on the left side, that's the weather sensor for the lawn sprinkler system. We are on the west side of the structure, over by the lagoon. These are called control joints. That's a good thing because we've got this much brick. We expect the brick to move. This part of the country, we expect it to move. It's going to move a lot more if it's wet over here and it's dry over there. You have inconsistent moisture around your house. It's not going to be good for the foundation. But these control joints, okay, every couple years you need to go around there and check them because this sealant, it dries, it shrinks, and it does pull away from the brickwork. So it's going to require a little bit of maintenance over time. There's a sewer clean out. This is a post-tension slab. They make a couple different types. I don't know which type, but this is a post-tension slab foundation. It's a very, very strong foundation. It's got a parge coat around it. That's why you see the little circle from the tension cable. But it's been smoothed over. It's like a cake frosting. Just because the cake frosting is cracked doesn't mean that the cake is cracked. And just because the cake frosting is not cracked doesn't mean that the cake is not cracked. That's just a veneer, a covering over it. It also expands and contracts at different rates. It creates voids behind there. If we were doing a wood destroying insect or termite inspection, then I would call that a conducive condition. These are weep holes right there, okay? Because brick is a very good building material. This house could burn down and you could reuse the brick. Okay, you got some weep holes underneath your windows right there. Alright, it could burn down and you could still use the brick. But a characteristic about it is that it's porous. So water runs right through it. We don't want our lawn sprinkler systems hitting it. Okay, it was designed to leak. We've got a vapor barrier behind this wall that lets the vapor out of the weep holes. So it was designed, and we knew as a, architecture is regional. Our lumber comes from East Texas and Arkansas, and then our brick, and that's what we build with, and we understand that, and we understand when it rains it's going to go through, and we have the vapor. We just don't want the lawn sprinkler heads hitting it. This is a pest control, in-wall pest control system. That's for things like crickets and ants, and it's not for termites. Okay, the product that's in there, code word for poison, was not engineered for the termite species, but it's for general pest. It's a general pest control. Moving on along, we've got weep holes over our garage. That's a good thing. Some of this brick right here should be sealed. We saw this in the attic where they came around this corner. That was the best option they had. Now these are called expansion joints, and they filled them with wood, and wood is acceptable. Okay, but the thing about wood is that it does rot and it will attract termites. There's other materials, more luxurious and more expensive materials that you can use in lieu of the wood, but the wood does meet the requirement and when it does rot, you're going to need to replace it because it needs that static pressure, because the driveway is related to the garage. It's like the moon and the earth, and it affects the tides and stuff. So the expansion joint is necessary, not just for expansion, but also for static pressure to limit certain types of movement. A tree, I get it. There's a tree, there's a tree, there's a tree, there's a tree. Your homeowners association probably says that you have to have a tree, and you're probably not going to have a lot to say about that. But a tree shouldn't be closer than 25 feet to a slab foundation to allow the branches to grow and tear your roof up, the roots to come up underneath and push your foundation up, the roots to grow underneath and to suck the moisture, because you need an even amount of moisture to suck moisture out of this part of the foundation while the other parts, you know, aren't siphoned off. So we got the static pressure on this corner is uneven. Got another swamp over here. Got a lagoon on one side, got a swamp on the other side. Another clean out, control joints. This vent is your fresh air induction vent. This is a tight house. It's a very tight house. And so that allows a certain amount of fresh air into the house so that it's a healthy house. It's a tight and healthy house. And across the back we've got hardy board. I usually can find something wrong with the hardy board, but I really wasn't able to this time. I mean, I can guess, but I can't prove anything. For example, this joint right here, this is one whole piece and this is a partial piece. And you can tell by the lack of uniformity that one edge was cut. And in the factory, the ends of these boards are sealed. So when that was cut, it was supposed to be sealed. I can't tell. Your rain gutter drip edge is not supposed to be lapped less than 2 inches. I mean your drip edge, your roof covering drip edge, is that what I called it? I might have called it a rain gutter. You got a couple of loose shingles up here. And then over here on this fence, which likely doesn't belong to you, is likely not your responsibility. I don't know. But my client is kind of perturbed about this open hole. Okay? They've got security cameras posted all the way around the exterior of this house. So, you know, that might be related to some of my clients', you know, legitimate concerns.